if we see a lit white person
Right.
with a black woman,
Right.
no one's like, sell out. They might just be like, damn, he open-minded.
And get how we look at it.
Yeah.
But it got sauce.
But
We kind of like respect it.
No, we fuck with him more.
We like, hey,
no,
Shy got sauce. Like, what you doing with that, boy?
Yeah, like Robert De Niro when we saw Kelsey with the black joint. I was like, yo, I fuck with Kelsey more.
But that's not the comparison to make. The comparison to make is a black man with a white woman.
Facts.
Yeah.
When you see a black man with a white woman, we like, nigga, you know what they used to do back in the day, man.
Fact.
So it's like, it's so much trauma that triggers us. Yeah. So it don't really be like, we don't see the trauma when a white man with a black woman. We just be like, oh, that's always been sauce. Now, when this black man with this white woman, we like, man, I know that nigga over there is not. Yeah. She got that boy sold up.
You don't have to put up with this, Jamal.
Yes, right.
Yeah,
like we know, like, oh yeah, it's a rap. Like it's a rap, and he's like, you're right, honey. You're like, look at you.
I'm just gonna hang over here with you guys.
Right. So it's like that's how we look at it because we know that black woman is not about that. She gonna hold him accountable. Hey, yeah, we want to keep it in our community just like y'all want to keep it in y'all. Mm-hmm. So when he get all that money, hey, yeah, we want to keep that shit. And now it look like you're returning the fortune.
Hey, yo, what's happening? Now, listen, I gotta take my time with this one, but let me start it off by saying, do you guys see what I'm talking about? Listen, now let's start with the fact that at the end of that clip, DC Young Fly was saying that we want to keep it in our community the same way you guys want to keep it in yours, and it's like you're returning a fortune. Now, the fortune he's talking about is the money. Right? The majority of people in America are not celebrities. So he's pointing at specifically celebrity black men with white women. And the majority of black celebrity men are with black women. So again, what's the smoke? What's the issue? What is the complaint of the small number of black men who decide to be with a non-black woman? Please, what is the complaint with that? Why do you guys have so much of an issue about it? Who cares if it's not a bunny or a Latina or an Asian woman? But see, this is the reality, right? And this is the thing with black people, right? We only see things in absolutes. We only see things as in extremes. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm going to show you guys a few comment sections, and this is what I'm talking about, because it's hard for black people to see things in the gray area. You know, it's either black or it's white. Now, in this first comment, right, you have these two women here talking about something, right? And hold on, I'm going to give my analysis on that video, but let me start with the comments here. So this comment right here is saying, but there are so many different races, ethnicities to a black man dating blank woman. Doesn't always have to be white, and it's still interracial. Would like to include that in a conversation, right? And you see this other woman here saying, listen, it's because black people see everything in black and white. We don't see the particulars. It's all the same to us. So if it's not black, it's white. Yo, black men, that's what I'm saying. Yo, it's the hatred. That's why I keep talking to you guys about this shit. The women, the simps, the Glocktaviuses and the Tyrones, they all feel the same way. They don't want you to have an option outside of black women because at the end of the day, black people are still traumatized by slavery. You feel me? By slavery. It doesn't matter, right? They're going to always revert back to that to try and escape, you know, the reality of things. And in this second comment right here, you see the woman at the top saying, DC explains this position so well. Listen, I'm going to break down what he's talking about, and I have to show you guys this stuff, right? Because again, this is why I said I make the content for the 10%. I know this content is not for the majority of black men. I know it's not, but that's why I always say I make this for the 10%, not Glocktavius, not Tyrone, not Pookie, not the simps, and not black women. You feel me? Now, here you got this other guy or fake page, whatever it is, right? He says, it just seemed like it was always okay for black women to date white men, but not okay for black men to date white women. Huh? Do you not see that? Even in the video clip, the white guy said, listen, there's no judgment passed on white men dating black women, but the judgment is passed on a black man dating a white woman. Why? Why can't you guys hold the white man to the same standard? Because do you I'm trying to not say things that's gonna offend black people more than what I already say. But come on, like, do you see where I'm going with that, man? You know what I'm saying? And then hold on. He also said, to each his own. But at the end of the day, I love my black woman, and that's exactly why I'm married to one. So again, the majority of black men want to be with black women. Why do people have such a big problem with the small number of black men who decide to be with non-black women? Or he goes overseas and still get with a non-black woman. You guys ever notice that most black men who travel overseas, they don't go to Africa? I mean, maybe he might go to Africa to visit, but as far as girlfriends, dating, even pay for play, wife, these guys are not stopping in Africa for those reasons, man. And here's the last comment, right? Y'all not addressing the bigger issue of black men dating white women while simultaneously degrading black women. That is the issue. Now, listen, I'll save that for the absolute last, right? But let me break down the actual video for you guys, right? So in the very beginning, the white man explains, if you see a white man with a black woman, no judgment is passed. But the black man said, which is DC Young Fly, he said, if you see a black woman with a white man, he has sauce or he's lit. And the other black guy, he also agreed to that. He advocates that if you see a white man with a black woman, he's cool. You know what I'm saying? He brought up Travis Kelce, right? And that's their example. Like, these guys are pretty much saying a white man who could bag a black woman, he's a cool guy. He's invited to the cookout. And I'm thinking to myself, like, what? Right? But DC Young Fly, right? He also brought up that when you see a black man with a white woman, oh man, so much trauma, so much trauma is triggered in us, man, because he said, listen, do you guys know what they did to us back in the day? So he's talking about slavery and the Emmett Till days. And I'm not going to sit here and say like that stuff wasn't true and like it wasn't allowed, or, it just didn't happen. Yeah, we can say it happened. But that was, at least from the Emmett Till stuff, the Emmett Till stuff is, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, it's almost 100 years old, or it is already 100 years old. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, dude, just because you want to hold on to what happened 100 years ago doesn't mean everybody else is. And my thing is, even the other black guy co-signed what he was saying about that. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that you guys mind revert back to slavery in the Emmett Till days just goes to show, listen, that's why I tell you guys to leave the South. You feel me? That's why I tell you guys to leave the South, because again, the simps, the Tyrones, the Gloctaviuses, man, they don't ever let you breathe. They want to hold you to the standard of, nah, bro, black women, but black women aren't good to me. They don't treat me like I'm a human being. I'm a shit stain to them. I'm like a red Kool-Aid stain on a white shirt to them. That's why I keep saying they want you to keep fucking trying and trying and trying. How many fucking times do I have to keep trying before I realize I am losing? I keep on, bro. I don't have no more tokens to keep playing that damn game no more. And see, I mentioned it a couple times, but again, like I said, I moved to Atlanta when I was 18, right? I moved from the north to the south. And see, what you guys don't realize is, if you guys didn't know, and correct me if I'm wrong, the majority of the United States, right, all 50 states, the only one that did not have illegal, oh, I'm sorry, the only one that did not have uh, uh, interracial marriage abolished was New York City, or New York State, the city included as well, right? But that's why I'm so glad to be from that place because again, growing up, I always saw black men with non-black women. And again, the fact that I am West Indian, even when I went to the islands, listen, even Caribbean men been dating been dating non-black women. You feel me? So me personally, I've always seen this. That's why it's normal to me. But for you down south simps who are brainwashed and you're still stuck in 1865 and you still stuck in 1920, yes, you guys have always caught smoke because again, I'm not saying white people are um um they forgot about what happened all those years ago, but up north it's an integrated area. You know what I'm saying? Down south is very segregated. You guys down south, I can only imagine what a high school down south look like, man. It's the fact that you guys are the majority, whereas white people are the minority. And again, me being in Atlanta, I kind of understand how the city is kind of designed. If you live anywhere west, south, or east of the city, yeah, those are the black areas, man. The white people lived either strictly downtown or they lived north of the city. And I can only imagine again, like I said, what those high schools look like down there. But again, my high school up north, dude, black people are the minority. We already go to school with Asian people, Koreans, Chinese. You go to school with Colombians, Dominicans, Mexicans, Puerto Ricans. You have Albanians, Russians, Irish, Italians. You like it's so many cultures you go to school with. You're not really sitting here thinking about, oh man, black women, black women, black women. Like I'm not saying you guys wouldn't date a black woman if you lived up there or grew up there, but I'm just saying seeing a black man with a white woman, it's like, or a non-black woman in general, it doesn't really phase you because the proximity, right? And even in my last video, well, not my last video, but one of my most recent videos, I talk about the proximity. You have close proximity to other people. You rub shoulders with other people. You sit in classrooms with other people. So again, you know what I'm saying? Just because what happened to Emmett Till and rest in peace to him, what happened to him so many years ago, that's what was happening down south. Listen, white people already know up north, they can't do that whole racist stuff because black people up north do. That's where, and I could be biased with this. I could be biased when I say this, right? That's where you get to see black people really, express themselves. Because again, let me say this right. Southern hospitality is a learned behavior. They learn how to behave a certain way in order to not get, pretty much lynched by white guys. Like white men was able to run around down south after slavery, and they were able to harm black people without facing any repercussions. And blacks, they knew their place, man. They didn't want to, rise up against them because again, they were gonna get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like they were gonna get hurt. Just keep it a stack. Up north, again, blacks, they were able to express themselves no more. I'm sorry, they were able to express themselves more. They were able to think outside of the box. You know what I'm saying? Down south, those Simps and those Tyrones and Glocktaviuses, they have a one-track mind. You know what I'm saying? They have a one-track mind. Up north, black people, they tend to think outside the box. And again, for a city like New York City, or the state at least, right? The state never had, abolished interracial marriage. So seeing a black man with a white woman, dude, that was like common. I mean, it wasn't the most common thing, of course, in like 1920 or something. But dude, in the early 2000s, 2010s, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, seeing a black man with a non-black woman, dude, that was just like, okay, it's New York City. Everybody's dating somebody else. But again, I'm lucky to actually see that. People from the tri-state area, you're actually lucky to see that. So for you simps, you gotta overcome that brainwash mindset. But let me keep going, right? So two, DC Young Fly, he also points out, well, first of all, he's from Atlanta. The other guy, he's from Atlanta as well. And these guys kind of think the same way about the same stuff, or at least the two black guys do, at least, right? Now, DC Young Fly, he's a brainwashed down south simp. And he still holds on to the nigga plantation mindset because, again, they were never allowed to date outside of black women. Not to mention the access to white women was so diminished that to even see it, it's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like people made it into a big deal. You know what I'm saying? And not only it made it into a big deal, but it was frowned upon, right? I think I mentioned a couple times how I told the story of my manager for one of my old jobs, and the engineer at the job was married to a Hispanic woman, and she was mad that he was married to a Hispanic woman and he had children. And I told you guys the reasons that she was talking about why she was upset about it. Oh, because when he goes home, he has home cooked meals. Oh, when he goes home, the woman is cooperating with him, the woman is submissive to him. Oh, when he goes home, you know what I'm saying, he's being treated good. Like everything she was saying was the fact that he's getting something good. Whereas with the black women, yo, you're getting a bad deal. So it's like they know. And that's why I keep telling you dudes, you need to escape the South because black women, Tyrone, Glocktavius's, and the simps, they, especially the simps, they are like, come on, dude. They know, the women know they're offering bad deals. The simps know they're offering bad deals. Even Tyrone and Glocktavius, they know, listen, we're getting a better deal than the simp, but it's still not the best. And that's why I keep telling you dudes, listen, you were willing to accept 80, 75, 70% of what you want from a woman. They're dropping it down to 40%. You can't even get half of what you want from a black woman, dude. And I keep making those videos about that God-fearing, you know what I'm saying, the God-fearing chick with the Indian dude in the street interview and the God-fearing woman cheating on her man with 200 men because, you know, in those Bible Belt states down south, that's what they use to control you guys. You know what I'm saying? They use the religion. They use Christianity, man, the white Jesus, you know what I'm saying, which is a Spaniard, man. They use him and the Bible, and they use the fear mongering tactics to control you guys to keep you in place because they already know. Listen, if you escape the plantation, you're not going to come back, and not only you're not coming back, you will be able to wake up more men. You see what I'm saying? So, I again, all I can do is tell you guys to escape. I can't make you escape. I can't convince you. I can't persuade you. All I can do is inform you. But again, that's the issue with down south because again, they're still stuck, so many years ago. And that's why I'm saying it doesn't make sense to be down there, man. When the people still want to be stuck, 100 years ago, 150 years ago, 200 years ago. For what, man? Time moves on. Just because you guys don't want to let go, listen, I, I'm letting go. You feel me? I'm letting go. Personally, I didn't have to deal with that stuff. Again, my family is not even from America. In the islands, we got our own stuff going on. Like I said, it's not perfect, dude. We still got colorism. We still got, colonized minds. But as far as what I'm talking about right here with this, oh man, listen, that's no issue down there. You feel me? Black men from all types of islands go to different islands. And when we come to America, and you know what I'm saying? Even, listen, most people from the islands, especially the ones that still have ties to London and Great Britain, listen, those guys can work for government, go to college overseas in the UK. And even over there, you see brothers doing well with non-black women. Like I said, I feel bad for some of you simps. You've been brainwashed by that Southern BS, man. Again, that Bible Belt stuff, man. And here's the funny part with those chicks down south with the whole Southern thing. It's funny because they claim to be these Southern belles, right? Oh, I go to church and I'm Christian and I love the Lord and all that other good stuff, right? But you don't protect that pussy. Like it be those same ones who claim to be a Southern belle and those are the same ones who cheat on you with 200 men. Those are the same ones who tell you, listen, oh, don't judge me based off my past. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is sick, man. I'm telling you, you have to get away from there, man. You have to, because your proximity to non-black women is tough. And not only that, no, I'll stop right there. I'll stop. Now, this is my last point, and I'll end it like this, right? Man. So at the end of that video, DC Young Fly, he proceeds to clown black men who are with white women because they act proper. You know what I'm saying? He was saying, "Oh, Jamal, you don't have to deal with that. Oh, you're right, honey." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, listen, every black man who dates a non-black woman, he's not Carlton Banks. And I'm not saying it's anything wrong with being Carlton Banks. Carlton Banks is what black men should aspire to be. Malcolm X is what black men should aspire to be. You know what I'm saying? It's just the fact that a black man who's not sagging his pants, a black man who's not trying to fit the stereotype. Again, DC Young Fly has a face tattoo. I don't give a flying fuck what a nigga with a face tattoo got to tell me, dude. I don't want any advice that you have to give. You feel me? I don't want any advice that you have to give, dude. Here's my advice to you. Go and get the tattoo removed. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, like I said, they're making fun of you because you either act proper, you talk proper, you don't choose to fit the stereotype. Man, again, you don't sag your pants, you're not covered in tattoos, you don't tote guns, you actually think before acting, right? You actually have a career, you have a 9-to-5 job, you're responsible, you don't have a criminal background. Again, that's the stuff the men laugh at you for. Then the women, they laugh at you for that stuff because I made the video about Brother Ice reading books and how the black woman kept attacking him over that particular thing about him reading books. Oh, when we're on vacation, no, you're going to be sitting back reading books. Like, shut the fuck up, bitch. Damn. What's the problem with me reading a fucking book? Do you not realize it's information in books? It's knowledge inside of books. And then the man said he was an author. Yo, but again, you guys got to deal with that brainwashed mindset, that brainwashed perspective. You feel me? So all because you're a black man who don't fit the stereotype, you're corny. That's pretty much why they're laughing at you. You know what I'm saying? And because the white women, now listen, they're not perfect, far from perfect, but they tend to be a lot more practical compared to black women, right? But for whatever reason, because you guys, I don't know, man. I realize that a lot of black men, like I said, you're sadomasochists. You love the hurt, you love the pain, and you love playing the game on hard. You know what I'm saying? And he also said, listen, the black woman will hold the black man accountable. What? So pretty much he's saying, listen, when you get with Becky, when you get with Amanda, when you get with Christina, oh, that's a cop out. Oh, she's bailing you out so you don't have to be accountable. Accountable for what? Anyways, like I said, you guys can keep dealing with those problems. I'm not dealing with that. And let me get back to the comment section, right? So let me say this about the comment section with the female who said, the bigger issue is black men dating white women while simultaneously degrading black women. That's not happening. That's not happening. Listen, I know some guys are with the whole movement. If it ain't snowing, I ain't going. If it ain't white, it ain't right. Listen, I understand that. But listen, for some of you guys who might do that, listen, you don't have to put down black women to get snow bunnies, to get Latina mommies, to get Asian persuasions. You don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? When black women tell you that, I'm sorry, when you're with a non-black woman and the conversation of black women pop up, dude, listen, I would just avoid that conversation altogether. You don't have to worry about, oh, you know, black women, they do this, black women, they do, no, don't worry about that, man. Listen, you don't have to put them down to get a bunny. You don't have to. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that there aren't guys who are doing that. But for the most part, those are guys who are still holding on to the hatred. And that's why I told you guys, first of all, you need semen retention. And after semen retention, dude, you need to break away. So if that means you got to move, 1,500 miles across the map, 1,200 miles across the map, if you got to get your passport and get out the damn country and move 3,000 miles away from America, listen, do that. You feel me? Do that, yo. That's what I'm saying. That's what's going to kill the anger that you have built up. That's what's going to kill that disdain that you have built up because, again, the proximity. The proximity, dude. I mean, I know I'm not sitting up here just talking nonsense, dude. What I'm talking about is full surface. Everything connects. You have to watch the videos to understand what I'm really talking about. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, dude, at the end of the day, black people, male or female, they only see things in absolutes and no particulars, man. It's either black or white, no gray. So if you're with a woman who's not black, but let's say she's not white, well, in their minds, you're still with a white woman. You know what I'm saying? Because she's not black. And it's like, all right, dude, whatever. Don't matter if she's Afro-Latina, Afro-Colombian, Afro-Dominican, Afro-Brazilian, right? She could be a mulatto. She could be a Blasian chick. You know what I'm saying? They still look at it, but you're not with a black woman, though. Okay, whatever. Anyways, black man, you see where I'm going with this? Anyways, like I said, man, if you're trying to escape the South, listen, do it under the radar. You know what I'm saying? Remain in the shadows and do it undetected, because once they understand that's your goal to leave, listen, you're one more simp. And I'm not calling you a simp, but in their minds, that's how they see you. You're one more guy leaving the plantation, and that's going to hurt them. Because again, guys like myself who make this kind of videos, if you got more men talking the way I'm talking, trying to wake up men, that's going to become very scary for them. And that's why I told you guys, black women are going down south. That's why I made the videos last year. Oh, they're running away from the West Coast. They're running away from up north because, again, down south, they have access to Octavius, Tyrone, and on the back end, they have an abundance of simps. So, again, they're not in a relationship with Tyrone. They're not dating Tyrone. Tyrone is fucking them. You know what I'm saying? So many black women talk about, I haven't been on a date in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, but you're not abstaining. You're still having sex, but you're just not being taken out by Tyrone. And the simps, they're figuring out, well, listen, I'm not trying to take you out either. So you got simps to lean back on who will still either date you, spend money on you, or whatever the case, it might be useful to you in whatever ways. And then they still have access to Tyrone and Octavius. See, the thing is, when they're on the West Coast or up north, the simps aren't there. And I hate to call the men simps, but the men that they don't want, right? These men aren't available to them because why? You have access. That's the thing that kills the South for me, because not only do you have certain laws that's just like what the fuck, you know what I'm saying? It's the mindset, it's the idiosyncrasies, it's the way of thinking for the people. The people down south, they think inside of the box. It's no extraordinary. It's no thinking outside the box, man. It's not being different. It's a one-track mind. It's like going to a school where everybody has to wear uniform. You know what I'm saying? You can't express yourself. And the moment you try to express yourself, it just goes to show how you think differently, and you will become somebody who is ostracized. You know what I'm saying? It's just a very sick mindset, man. It's a sick mindset. And like I said, man, those guys who they're not checking for, when you're on a different region of the country, you have access to these other types of women because, the South is majority black. Like, we know the South is for majority black people. You know what I'm saying? From Virginia all the way down to Florida and all the way west of Texas. I mean, Florida and Texas might be a little different because you do have access to non-black chicks as well, but everywhere else is like, my goodness. And again, we're still in America. We still have American women to deal with. But again, if you have to pick between Asian persuasion, snow bunnies, Latino mommies, and black women, I mean, which American woman you gonna pick? Anyways, black man, I think I've covered this video enough, but I'm out. Peace.